What's up, Magnetites? It's been a while since I've done another video for you. Been about a week or two, though I've been definitely doing better than I was when I was working forever. So I wanted to. I recently was skimming some SMT stuff, going through different people's things. Compendium, Bubble Tea, Marsh, Gnarly, different people, just kind of watching stuff LaRue. And then, of course, needed to get my daily dose of everything that's wrong. Oh no, don't forget. Oh man, I love this guy's channel. He's got some awesome breakdowns. Oh no, I love how I'm forgetting only him right now. Oh no. Oh man, I'm gonna feel like an asshole. Tony for you, yes. Great channel. That's a great channel. But anyway, there's other great channels too. Maka, David, I'm trying to think of his name. There's some other good channels out there. But what I was thinking just now was, I need my daily dose of hatred from Simply Dad. And I'm looking at the critiques, his Persona 3 critiques. I kind of get. I understand certain pieces. Don't fully agree, but I get certain aspects of where he's coming from. His Persona, Persona 5 stuff, I get. But then, I'm listening to his SMT 5 critiques. I just don't get fully where he's coming from. And I mean, I'll be the first person to say the story was like going somewhere, and then I think they realized all the fans were like, what the heck, man, like, what the hell are you waiting for, put the game out, and I think they rushed the second half. They really need Kaneko or somebody like that to help with stories, because they're the only ones that understand like the root of the darkness that comes with like A Strange Journey or the original games, or even the Megami Tensei 2 game. Like, they understand how to make a compelling story with the demons doing their roles and all that stuff. They know what they're doing, so they should have had a little bit more engagement with some of the, well, he's really the only guy left from the beginning, but I mean, he really could have given them some insight and input. But anyway, once things fell apart, I understand why the story does feel a bit lacking. But outside of that complaint, every other complaint he had feels like unwanted, like, complaints of nonsense. Like, how are you going to complain about the combat in the game? How are you going to complain about the exploration? Yes, does it get a little samey no matter how many places you go to, and does the novelty wear off a little bit after the first place? Yeah, but I never got tired of having these demons chasing me through wastelands on the map while grand scheme giant demons are fighting each other. And I always love the idea of the unbeatable demons being like just in the middle of the wasteland waiting for you, or in the caves. And I mean, there's good little side quest interactions with different demons. With their lore, it makes sense. Like, there's so much like awesome things that hadn't been done before, and I can't put a stamp of approval on the negativity. It just doesn't seem to fit. It's one of the most intuitive combat systems we've had. Granted, it negates some of the buff debuff concept, but not fully. I mean, yeah, it's not lasting 5 turns like in Nocturne anymore, but you can extend it out to 3 turns. I mean, it still has pretty strong benefits. I mean, yes, you're not doing weakening somebody down 5-6 times. I get, and I can enjoy that, but I also can enjoy the change of that from a game. We can always go back to the way it was. That's not gonna completely make me think that the combat's negative. I think they missed the mark a little bit with the Magatsuhi meters, with giving you one that's a little bit too good too soon, literally the first one. But I really like the concept of having something like that isn't. The only thing I don't like about it, and I actually won't put any points into it when I'm playing, is because I don't want to make the game easy based on the Magatsuhi meter being too easy to fill over and over again. So there are things like that I find to be a little bothersome. But like, for the most part, the combat's incredible. The exploration is fun. The little Me-Man thing is fun. Again, repetitive, but fun. Kind of keeps the exploration not repetitive when you have to find them, and there's benefits to it. I wasn't a huge fan of, and I don't think he mentioned this, the return artifact that you use to just warp back to the save zone. I'm a little bit annoyed with how that works. But I mean, outside of that, what is there really to complain about? I mean, essentially, it's just a great game. There's really no negative whatsoever when it comes to that. So if you're asking me if I could even begin to understand or feel where the guy's coming from, I really can't. I understand character is a little bit lacking in story. We've said that now 3 times. But I've listened to his video twice, and I'm just trying to see if I can grasp the feeling. He had some quips, I think, about, or quirks, whatever, with the leveling up and the experience gain based on enemies levels, and I that could be valid. I wouldn't say that I've done enough time seeing level gain and how it affects everything, and if the stats really mean anything and stuff like that. That would be a little misleading if I found out that, you know, like, stat increases aren't really affecting your level ups or whatever. But I mean, that's really technical. And I'll be honest, I don't think I could have had the ignorance is bliss roll if I didn't know that. So I'm not going to pretend like that somehow destroyed my enjoyment of the game. Where the game drops the ball is solely in having a story that feels complete. And the endings, even the true ending, doesn't really 100% feel complete. I feel like somewhere the ball was dropped, which is disappointing, to say the least. I don't like that. I find that it's such a good game. It is upsetting that we couldn't get the kind of finality, I want to say, that maybe we wanted. But overall, I think the game is great. I rarely have I enjoyed a game as much as I've enjoyed SMT5. I think it's a fairly perfect game for a Megaten game, especially one that's newer. And I think if we had just had some of the writing, or maybe some of the concepts from the old games, this could have been an easy 10. Obviously, it's not a 10, but it's definitely an high A or even an S tier game. I mean, to knock it down, to knock this game down like it isn't one of the greatest Megaten games we've ever had feels incorrect. Now, that's not to say that I think it's the best game in Megaten, because that's not true. I do have other games that I rank ahead of it. But not by much, and not for anything more than the story. I'm in this rare camp that I find Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei 2 or the Kaiyuyaku Megami Tensei 2, whatever version you're playing, I find that to be one of the greatest games in the entire series, which is a little weird because it's really like the second game ever. But I do find it to be incredibly story-driven without being story-driven. So atmospheric, as most of the Megami Tensei games are. But this one had something a little bit extra to it. You know, the way that Ball is utilized, the way that these demons are utilized with their mixed in with their lore, it just makes sense. So I will say that there is something to be said about how awesome the story is when it comes to Megami Tensei 2. But that being said, exploration, the way that SMT5 did it, is just incredible. I never thought there was going to be a time where you could see the demons like that you'd be able to like see these enemies everywhere, background fighting. I mean, even things that are just for the overall atmosphere, just so cool. I'm trying to garner, you know, when he made his complaint about Persona 3 and Persona 5 and a few other things, I felt like he had some valid points, and I felt like he was coming from a place of sincerity. This one just felt like a bandwagon jump. Like, there are people who couldn't find negative things to say about it, and the negative impacts that he brought up just aren't that negative. Now, I don't want to ramble too long about it. I don't know. I'm just not in agreement with his video. I think he makes great content, and there are some things, his Nocturne and SMT 4 video great, which is all positive, and his Persona hatred is 3 hatred is pretty understandable. His Persona 5, same kind of thing. So I'm definitely not hating on that. But this one just felt like, I don't know, didn't feel as real and as genuinely perceptive as the other videos he put out are. So, you know, that being said, and mind you, I like Persona 3 a lot, so I'm not gonna that's not like I dislike the game or anything. I just can't get on board with that particular video that he has about SMT5 from any perspective. But anyway, that's just my point of view. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Simply Dad's video is accurate in the negatives that SMT5 has, and that it's just like he says it's a, see, and this is it, not to interrupt my little outro here, but it's a bad game? It's a really bad game, I believe his video is titled? That's ridiculous. It's not even a really bad video game, let alone SMT game. It's pretty damn good. So, you know, that again, anyway, let me hear your comments below. Do you agree with Simply Dad? Do you think that maybe this is not a good take? Do you think what I'm saying is a little bit more accurate? Let me know below. Comment, like, subscribe. Hope to hear from you guys. And until then, this is Jay, and I'm out.